What's up, everybody? Just kidding. Peter McKinnon, if you're watching, I dig you, dog. How's it going, internet? So I bet if you saw my last video, you're wondering, Chris, didn't you say you were gonna post more videos more frequently? I did, compadre. But ironically, at the same time, I signed a lease for a new place and I'm in the middle of moving and I'm the busiest I've ever been. But I really wanted to make this video, and I think this is like the 12th or 13th take of this video. It's a really hard video to talk about because so many things bleed into one another. The topic is what visual effects artist, or what type of visual effects artist should you be? This video is geared more toward newcoming visual effects artists or people that want to get into visual effects. When you're starting out, this isn't even a question. When you're starting out, the main things you learn is like rotoscoping, keying, basic 2D animation, things like that. Really simple stuff. But as you start developing your skills and you start to grow, you start to branch out and learn other things and become more specified. Now, graphics is a very broad umbrella. There's visual effects, there's motion graphics, there's illustration, there's graphic design, and so on and so on. Even though they are all completely separate things, they all tend to bleed into one another. For the sake of this video, I want to focus on visual effects. Visual effects is not motion graphics. Visual effects is not graphic design. Even though they're separate, that's not to say that even as a visual effects artist, you won't do some graphic design or some illustration or some motion graphics. This is not the exact definition of visual effects, but for me personally, visual effects is the manipulation of live action footage to better tell your story. Visual effects, for the most part, should be invisible. It should only be there as a storytelling aid. It shouldn't be distracting, it shouldn't pull you out of the story and make you notice things that you normally shouldn't. Visual effects for me is just a tool to better tell your story. I'm a very firm proponent of doing things as practically as possible and using visual effects to enhance, but I digress. This is an oversimplification, but under the visual effects umbrella, I think that there are two camps. There's live action and then there's 3D. Visual effects generalists typically do everything under both of those blankets. They can composite, they can animate, they can model, they can match move, they can do all these things that fit into both categories. In the live action section, you have compositors, match movers, green and blue screen artists, cleanup and roto artists, and they typically focus on just live action footage or blending different elements together. Under the 3D blanket, you have modelers, textures, lighting artists, rigging and animation artists, mocap, fluid simulations, cloth simulations, all these other things. The list goes on and on and on. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, when you're starting out, this isn't something you really have to think about. Everyone typically starts as a generalist, but as your skills develop and you start getting more experience, you start to realize that there are things you like and then there are things you don't like. After you've gained enough experience and you're starting to think about career paths and jobs and all that stuff, you may want to gear your reel towards what you're best at or what you most enjoy, because it's really going to show and people are going to be more inclined to hiring you, in my opinion. I'll give you an example about how I describe myself. I like to describe myself as a generalist. I do everything under the live action umbrella and I do everything under the 3D umbrella, with specialties in green screen compositing, cleanup work, rod and rig removal, and match moving. That's what I do best. Jack of all trades, but master of some. So with all that information out there, for all you newcomers to visual effects, this is something that you can think about eventually, but don't worry about it right now. When everybody starts out, like I said, they're pretty much generalists. You're learning every skill that you can, soaking it up like a sponge, and from there, when you're putting together your reel, you gear it towards your strengths and what you really enjoy, and down the line, it's really gonna help you get a job that you're not only good at, but interested in as well. If you guys would like a more in-depth video on what each type of visual effects artist does, I can totally make one for each in a series. I think that'd be really cool. But I tried really hard to explain this in a really simple way for newcomers. Learn as much as you can, but think about what you like and what you don't like, and play to your strengths. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, make sure the bell is turned on for notifications so you never miss a new video. I have a lot of big videos coming down the line after the move, mainly on green screen compositing pro tips and cleanup work pro tips that I've picked up along the way, and some lifestyle and business tips. I think that's it, so I'll see you guys next time.